You're watching Samalot, and I'm raiding in Minecraft. Now, cast your mind back to the end of last episode. We found an object that said we had to return it to Marshark 12 for a reward. Well, he was online, and I returned it to him. He gave me a tour of the base, which we'd actually already raided, but I'm not sure if he really knew that. It was quite funny because it turned out that he was a member of this faction, but he didn't know about that room. So it looks like they'd been keeping a secret vault hidden from him, which I found pretty funny. Pretty bad for him. And now quickly for the base of Slimers. No TNT cannon required. One naturally spawning creeper is all I needed to get right on in there. Obviously a huge non-known base design. That goes without saying. But half a stack of gold there for absolutely nothing. So whoever built that base before obviously didn't really know what they were doing. I mean, no one would build a base like that if they knew about TNT cannons. But this next one is a bit interesting. We dug down into the faction of Shadow. It didn't take that long to break through, the cave and the walls into their farm area, which wasn't very well defended. But they did have a vault made of obsidian. Now, obsidian is one of the best materials to use, especially on this server, for building a vault out of. And that's great, but you can probably see there that they had built an iron door. Now, iron doors don't take much at all to blow up. So instantly, by adding that door, you've completely made the rest of the defences useless. One shot is all it took to get through that iron door into their base. They had a decent amount of stuff. You can see diamonds, gold, a lot of redstone, a lot of random stuff here. Enchanting table. Not all that bad for something that was defended by a single door. And now for the faction called PWEP. P-W-E-P. And this was a very frustrating raid. We actually gave up on it the day before. I came back the next day determined to actually get somewhere. Made a simple cannon and tunnelled down through the surface to get to their water-covered base around about bedrock. Once we'd made the tunnel, I could just pour lava straight on down there. The idea being that the lava would flow all the way down there, hit their water roof, cover up the water. Then we can build the same cannon before, re-blow all the way down through that hole, and hopefully get in there. After a few fails, I finally managed to get a little spot where water wasn't appearing, and we could just keep shooting TNT at there until a hole eventually appeared in, and I could ender pearl right on in there into what was actually a very nice decorated base. You can actually see they built it on the world border, which is why that back wall is missing. Now this kind of top layer didn't have much in, which was actually really disappointing. I almost got killed by a witch there. That would have been perfect ending. But yeah, not much in here. The bottom floor is where it was really at. Down on the bottom they'd actually covered over a lot of chests with blocks, so we couldn't actually get to them, but the stuff we could get to had quite a nice amount of diamond gear, including this lovely named, highly enchanted, almost broken diamond pick, but we can repair it later. And they had a lot of a random but nice diamond gear. And in the other chest they actually had quite a lot of obsidian, which was really nice because at this point in the game we were building our own base and we needed that obsidian. We actually built another cannon to try and blow open those chests, but they didn't have anything in, so we left our calling card and were on our way. And the final raid of the video is of our very first unclaimed base that we came across in the server. And usually these things are nothing interesting, but once we managed to get through the many layers of lava and water that this base had, and it was actually really annoying to get through there, but we were presented with this huge open area. Now I was pretty dubious at this point in time. I wasn't very hopeful. Most of the time when you come across unclaimed bases, they've been raided a million times by any old person. But falling down into here, it did look untouched. This was reaffirmed when we went down the ladder and found a ton of spawners still operational. And actually we set home here and used this whole mob grinder setup for our own training for weeks after we'd raided it. It was really useful. In the chests they had a lot of really nice stuff. You can see a bunch of decent swords there and fishing rods, But it only gets better. In the chest above we've got even more stuff. Efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3 pick right there, Sharpness 5 with a ton of other stuff, sword, TNT, golden apples, ender pearls, got a Silk Touch axe right there, Sharpness 5 buck to put on whatever we want, and then we had a load of really good bows, a ton with infinity, a ton with the new enchants on the server like poison, multi-shot, and then above they had a really nice passive mob farm, and I actually killed a bunch of stuff there and got a rare key which I used at spawn and probably got something terrible. But hey, another great item from the raid. And that concludes the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and join me next time for more Minecraft raiding.